Hi, I'm Pooja. I'm an aromatherapist at Neil's Yard Therapy Rooms in Islington, London. And I just wanted to talk to you about a top tip that I use almost daily in my life to take care of my health. And that is the use of essential oils, plant essences. They usually come in little bottles like this. And they are usually steam distilled, but they're the concentrated essence of the plant. So that's why they smell so intense, and they usually have a dual function. Almost all essential oils have the function in the plant that they help keep predators away. So they help keep bacteria, fungus, animals, anything. So it's kind of the internal immune system of the plant. That's one of the functions. And the other function, which comes from the smell, is to attract pollinators and things that the plant needs to grow. So I've used essential oils almost every day since I qualified, which was in like 1993. I just use them emotionally, physically. If there's any little thing going on, I use them. I've used them to help headaches, stomach aches, muscle pain, cystitis, what else? Skin wounds, things like that, itching, if I've been bitten by something, so many different things. Anyway, my favorite oil and one of the most beneficial is frankincense oil. It's an oil that's maybe not that used that much, but it's incredibly powerful. I made a little picture of it. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. That's the flowers, yellow and pink. They're kind of yellowy white, or else they're pink, pale pink, and they grow on a tree or a shrub, usually in East Africa. And the main use of them, there's quite a few uses of them. One of the things it does is, because it comes from the bark, it's like a sap-like substance, so it's kind of very oily and sap-like. So it's been used since ancient times for skin healing. So you'll find it in a lot of health skincare products for older skin, blemishes, things like that. It's also really good at wound healing. One of the things it does is it has a property called cicatrizant, which means that's wound healing. And the other thing it does is it's cytophylactic, so it helps T leukocytes, I think the leukocytes in the immune system, it helps them activate. So if you've got a cut or a wound, which I had quite recently, a very deep wound that was getting infected, I used frankincense on it, kind of diluted. I put it in coconut oil and a bit of tea tree oil as well. So it actually stopped an infection, because it was quite a deep wound and it started to throb and get really red and going in the direction of infection. So I was using this every day and pretty much got rid of quite a deep wound. It was about 2 centimeters in my finger, so of course it was getting wet all the time. So interestingly, the ancient Egyptians actually used it. It's such a powerful skin kind of preserver and anti-infection that the ancient Egyptians used to use it in the mummification process. So they would clean the body cavities and seal them with it. So you can imagine what kind of effect that is for the skin. The other great thing about it is it has an affinity for the lungs. So it has 2 chemical constituents. One is a bit like pinene. I think it's actually called pinene, and the other one is like a terpenine. So both of those are like very strong medicinal smelling smells. So what they do is, it's like being in a pine forest almost. It forces your body, it expands the lungs, and it forces you to breathe deeper. So that's why it's used a lot. You probably know it was one of the gifts that the 3 wise men gave to the baby Jesus, was frankincense, myrrh and gold. And it's also used in, you probably know, in the Catholic Church as the incense. It's used in many different religions as an aid to meditation or breathing, meditation or prayer, mostly because it makes you breathe deeper. That's one of the things it does. So it's really good for if you're having difficulty breathing, maybe you have asthma, some other respiratory condition, you might be having difficulty because you've got a cold or a flu. The other thing it's really good for is anxiety or overwhelm or trauma, where you're even panic attacks, because it makes you breathe deeper. If you're in any of those states, you've probably noticed that you stop breathing, that you've almost stopped breathing, and your breathing is very shallow. So if you use frankincense, that can help you to breathe deeper. And in combination with also consciously taking deeper breaths, it will calm down an anxiety state pretty fast, and it brings you very much into feeling your body and feeling grounded, because when you're in a heightened state, a trauma response or a panic or fear, extreme fear, you don't breathe too much, but also all the energy kind of goes away from your feet and the grounding in your hips and goes up into your head, and then you get these like crazy thoughts as well, which increases the panic. So frankincense oil, the other thing that it does apart from deepen the breathing is it's the second note you smell after the top note of pinene and terpenine, those mentally kind of medicinal smells, is it then has a very comforting, sweet, balsamic kind of smell, which kind of warms up emotionally and soothes the chest area. And because it's a resin, it comes from the sap under the bark. It's also very grounding. They tend to be very grounding, so it also makes you feel your feet on the ground. So the combination of those is that it tends to bring you very deeply into a grounded state, lower body, and it calms the emotions and the mind. Completely forgotten what I was going to say. Let me have a look if I have it written down. Yeah, so that is about it. I guess I should say something about how you use essential oils. So you can burn them directly into an oil diffuser. You can put them on your skin. Frankincense, most of them you would need to dilute it. So the general rule of thumb is, if you're putting it on your body, and obviously take advice from an aromatherapist because they're very powerful, so you want to know when you shouldn't be using them. So quite often, pregnancy or breastfeeding, you would be limited to a few oils. So if you were putting it on your skin, you would dilute it at 2% dilution. So that means if you have a base oil, say almond oil, if you've got, say, 10 milliliters of a base oil, 2% dilution is half that amount of drops. So you put 5 total drops of essential oil into the oil, mix it up, and then put it on your body. So if you were having difficulty breathing or you're anxious, you could put a little bit diluted. I often put it under the nose. You can put some on your chest, around your head, base of your spine is good. If you've got want it for skin wounding like I used, you could make a 4% dilution, which was much stronger, and you could put it in coconut oil, raw organic coconut oil. That's probably going to stay on and help you more if you've got an open wound. So 4%, that would mean, so if you've got 10 milliliters of oil or coconut oil, you would put the equal number of drops of essential oil. So that's essentially what I did when I had the finger wound, and I just kept topping that up through the day, and then within a few days, gone. Okay, so that is the other thing you can do if you're just literally just take the lid off and breathe it, and you'll feel yourself. You'll feel it going. That's what the essential oils do. They go up through the nose, through the olfactory system, and they land in your brain, part of your brain called the hippocampus, which is responsible for your emotions and your memories. So that's why people have such strong responses to smell. and why they're drawn to some smells and kind of repulsed by others. Sometimes there could be a memory attached or an emotion. So you can use that in your favor to select the oils that make you feel good. Okay. So what frankincense does is, why it's used in meditation and prayer, is it clears the mind very quickly, it balances the heart, and it brings your energy down into your body. So it connects you with whatever you want to call it, God, your higher self, your spirit, the bigger you, the wiser you, the calmer you, connection to feeling like you belong in the universe. So it does that very, very strongly. So it's one of those amazing oils that you can just smell it, and it will bring you into a kind of total alignment with your spirit and your thinking and your heart and your emotions and your body, and kind of connect you very deeply rooted into the earth, because it's a resinous oil. So you're getting this like very strong alignment. So I use this in almost every blends I have with clients. I often use frankincense because it helps people when they're just busy with things. They're coming into the massage room, it helps them disconnect from everything they're busy with, any worries, any whatever, and brings them to a very peaceful state very quickly. So yeah, go ahead, try it. Frankincense, beautiful oil. And you can obviously mix it with other oils that you like the smell of. Okay, so that is it. I will say goodbye. I'm in a very lovely, quiet park in Brighton, UK, just around the corner from where I live. Okay, lots of love. Bye.